I had a big problem. I was a content consumer junkie, watching YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube video without any limit. I bought more than 20 courses on Udemy and Domestika. Their price is ridiculous, insanely ridiculous, like $20, $12, and they are great. Don't get me wrong. Like, they are amazing. I learned most of my skills from Udemy and Domestika for maybe $1,000 in total, and I wouldn't get that anywhere else. Like, it's kind of similar to YouTube at the end of the day. You just have to find the content because there's more content now. Hence the problem. I finished a course and immediately purchased another course without taking any particular action. I was just chasing the dopamine hit from achieving per se or finishing a new course. And I was finishing most of them because they were small, short, and sweet, but I wasn't applying anything. I don't recall the exact moment, but I was fed up. I was fed up with my lack of progress in life despite buying all of these courses, getting all of that knowledge, all for nothing at the end of the day. Buying courses is nice and learning is nice as well, but applying your knowledge is way, way, way more nicer than that. And without counting the books that I read in the couple past 2 years, actually in the last 2 years, because the first book that I read was at 26 years old. So, reading, buying courses, watching YouTube videos without doing shit about it doesn't serve you well. I hosted a Twitter space about this particular topic at the moment of filming this video, maybe a month and a half ago, and I soaked many perspectives from different people on how they learn efficiently. And that's the purpose of this video, is to share with you those perspectives all tied together. So you learn how to learn efficiently and navigate the career economy per se. So whether it's on YouTube, on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, that will help you, cut out the noise. So let's dive right into it. The challenge of learning efficiently. You have two problems when it comes to learning. The first one is learning too much without applying any shit, as I did. The second one is not knowing what to learn or where to learn because there are too many choices. It's pretty similar to a restaurant with 200 items on the menu. So you have the pressure to choose something that won't disappoint you, but even when you get that particular thing you ordered, you still, in the back of your thought, thinking about something else you might have chosen or you want to choose for the future. So it's pretty similar to content online nowadays. You don't know which one is good, and even when you purchase something from someone, you're thinking on the back of your head, your mind, whatever, oh, what if I purchase this particular course about this particular topic? I think that will help me more. But that's a lie. You've been trapped. It's a cap. So how do you do it? Like, how do you fix that problem? That's a question actually that I asked myself many times, and the simple answer was stop learning for a moment. To learn efficiently, we have to ditch the traditional scholar system. Jumping from subject to another in 1 hour span. You finish one course and then you go to another course. Your brain is all over the place. You're still thinking about the previous course, topic, whatever, class per se. And then while you are at your second class, you are thinking about your third class in the PM, the afternoon. And then coming back home, your brain is fried. You don't want to study. You don't want to do shit. And that's what we are doing outside of school when we dropped out of school or whether you're still in school, you try to learn a bunch of shit simultaneously, but you can't do it because that's why you you fail at school. Those who are able to excel, like I mean, ace every class, is because they're geniuses and they don't do anything else except studying. They understand the nuances, the concepts, or they're just geniuses. For me, I was only good at math. Anything else was fucking boring to me. History, French classes, philosophy, all of those classes were boring as hell. So, I was thinking to myself, why am I here? Like, why I'm learning something I don't want to learn? Why? And when you get outside of school, you start thinking to yourself, that's the way I learned how to learn in school, so I'm going to do the same thing. But it won't work. Or you try it and it doesn't work for that particular reason because you're juggling between 3-5 topics at the same time. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do, but most people cannot do that. And I'm one of those people. Instead, I prefer to focus my head, focus my mind into learning a particular topic for a set amount of days or weeks before jumping to another one, or learning topics that are related to each other. For example, copywriting and storytelling, copywriting and per se marketing. So those two topics together are related. So you'll find concepts in marketing that you can tie to copywriting principles. And at the end of the day, copywriting is basically marketing because you're learning how to write for sales. So that was my back thought when I was thinking on how can I learn better? How can I excel in something at a higher rate and a higher speed? Over the last decade, I consumed around approximately 18,250 hours of content. Yes, I did the math. An average of 5 hours per day doing one of the following: reading articles, watching YouTube videos, watching online courses. So 5 hours per day for 365 days is 1,825 hours. Over 10 years, that's 18,250 hours. Crazy, isn't it? Of those 18,250 hours, only thousands of them served me positively. Finally, I understood how to learn effectively. There's only a mindset shift that needs to happen. And quite frankly, when you were forced to learn something, was there any goal beyond having a good grade? This knowledge went straight to the trash, erased from my mind's computer. The mindset shift is to transition from consumer to creator. And by creator, I mean someone who is aware of his actions. That means you aren't scrolling through social media mindlessly without knowing or understanding why you're doing it. To be a creator, you don't have to create because you can do it privately in a way. Journaling, for example. Instead of just consuming everything as it goes, you consume and you take notes for yourself. Imagine as if you are creating those notes for your future self, just to reflect on what have you accomplished in the past year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. I haven't been doing that for that long, but I was taking notes the old way. Now there's, Notion, Obsidian, and so on. This isn't the video for that, but just to put you in context, that taking notes is the first step into starting to learn efficiently instead of just consuming without doing shit about it. And even if you don't want to do it for yourself, imagine you are writing those notes for your future child. How cool would that be, showing him your notes from 14 years old you, 25 years old you, whatever that might be. So be selfish or be selfless. Both works. Becoming a creator unlocks a lot of things. And one of those things is connecting dots. Everything becomes a source of inspiration when you become a creator. So I can watch a TV show and have a content idea or a video idea just because of that. And as I said, you don't have to film videos to be a creator. You can just do it behind the scene for yourself or your child. I'm not going to repeat myself again, but just to give you the context and you grasp the idea that you don't have to create content online. You don't have to show your face. You don't have to film videos, but you are watching this video. So I might find you in maybe what? 1 month, 3 months, 1 year, 2 years, whatever. I hope that this video will push you to start creating, even if it's only for you or for your future child. Let's move on. It's not that simple, especially at the beginning of this transition. Obsession can occur very quickly. When it's bad obsession, you find yourself trapped in another world, better than the mindless scrolling, but still not that better. It's essential to find your balance, time to learn and time to create, and also time to rest. Reading for the sake of reading, watching a show for the sake of watching a TV show. Entertainment doesn't have to be eradicated. It's a question of balance. And now I'd like to, to put it as balancing the balance, because even in moderation, there is moderation. Otherwise, everything is harmful at the end of the day. To avoid a disastrous transition, I suggest that you find 2 to 3 mentors that you want to learn from, and instead of learning from everyone. And for me, I determined 2-3 goals, and I chose 2-3 mentors. So my goals is, creating content, filming YouTube videos, finding my voice and all of that stuff. And my mentors, I chose Dan Coe, I chose Zach Pogrub, and Jack Butcher. There's others, but I limit myself nowadays from the content that I consume for that particular reason. Instead of, learning everything without applying, I decide to curate my content and only consume what is relevant to me and to the content that I want to create. So determine your level of obsession with a particular topic and find 2 to 3 mentors about that particular topic, and cut out everyone else. Like, only follow the advice of those 2 or 3 mentors. Then ask yourself questions. Questions like, is this going to help me? How can I implement this in X goal? Next, determine your unwinding activities. For example, walks, watching movies, reading fiction books, whatever is suitable for you to turn off your mind. Sometimes you can. And I've been, the experiment or the living example of that you cannot turn off your mind sometimes, because it's always racing about anything new that you learn or any information that, comes to your mind. It's non-stop. And the only way for me to shut off my mind, per se, is with basketball or with boxing. Even in the gym, like when I'm resting between rests, I have ideas coming to my mind, and believe me, I don't waste them, because sometimes you just don't remember them. But when an idea comes to you and you're doing something that it is supposed to be unwinding, we have to find the balance. And personally, to be honest, it's difficult to do so at the end of the day. But when I'm trying to unwind, per se, watching a movie whatsoever, I don't care if there's an idea. I'll take it. Like, I'll take a note. It's not the end of the day. It's not the end of the world at the end of the day. And On other instances, for example, family dinner, or, you know, having time with a special person, you cannot, take off your phone, put your idea whatsoever. I don't know for the future, if that's like you have $1 million ideas, you have to do that. But for me, I think we have to find a way to memorize without, jeopardizing your unwinding times or unwinding activities, whether it's in spa, whatever that might be. But like I said, for me, basketball, there's no idea that comes to my mind. My mind is free, completely empty, and I'm in a flow state per se. So thanks to basketball. When you aren't learning efficiently, those are the feeling you might have felt. Constantly feeling like it's not enough, constantly feeling like it wasn't good enough, constantly feeling like you only need one more course, constantly feeling like you only need to watch it one more time, constantly feeling like you're progressing, but when it's time to take action, you don't feel ready. All of those feelings, I felt them. Like, writing them and saying them to you now makes me remember them in a way, and it's crazy because you know that you felt that, but now you don't feel that anymore, and it's so relieving. I don't know how I did it, but hopefully with this video you can help yourself, because like me, I don't know how I can help you just by saying all of that, but with questions comes answers. But I think you have to ask yourself great questions to find great answers. A noisy world of generic advice and niche opinions. You should pick a niche. You should tweet 3 times per day. Where's the other one? You should leave meaningful comments. Shut the fuck up. I was fucking tired of this bullshit. Like, coming to Twitter and, reading those advice every single day, I really was fed up. Like, if I had this person telling me this in real life, I would have slapped the fuck out of them. Anyway, just kidding here, but small inch of truth here. I hated this niche bullshit BS advice. Like, I felt forced to do it, and it's like marketed to you as if it's the only way to grow on social media. Like, you have to post 5 times per day, on TikTok as well, like five times per day, or you won't grow. What the fuck? Like, is this even sustainable for people just starting out? Like, you just find a way to film yourself and, being comfortable in front of the camera and so on, and they're asking you to film like fucking 5 videos. Otherwise, you won't succeed. So now people reading that, they're like, okay, no, only like 1 video is a lot, and then 5 videos, I'm not gonna do it. So they quit before even starting. That's why those particular advices were pure BS for me. Anyway, I didn't follow them, but I did before coming to Twitter, on LinkedIn, having to post X amount of time, leaving meaningful comments, blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. If I have the envy of commenting, great tweet, bro, I will do it. If I have the envy of commenting a meaningful comment, I will do it, bro. If I have the envy of commenting 100, I will do it, bro. Like, if people like they love to force their perspectives on other people, and when it doesn't serve theirs, they're like, oh, that won't work for you, blah blah blah. But believe me, it does. Like, just me leaving ha 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 on a tweet, I got followers out of that, and they still clicked on my profile, read my pinned tweet, and they liked my content, and they followed me. Was that because of my fucking meaningful comment? No, it wasn't. So, I'm not saying meaningful comments aren't great, but it's not an obligation. At the end of the day, you can achieve a growth, sustainable growth, without any of those advice, like picking a niche, commenting meaningful comments, tweeting 3 to 5 times per day. I did that actually, tweeting three times to 5 times per day, but wasn't forced to do so. Like if I want, I could actually tweet 10 times per day without getting exhausted, just because I have that much to say, as you can see from this video. And that's actually what I'm creating with my channel. Those people who follow generic advice, and when it doesn't work for them, they quit. But it's because you followed an advice from someone who isn't like you. If you are a multi-passionate, like, someone with many interests, many passions, and you take an advice from someone who is preaching niching down, then it will give you anxiety at the end of the day, because you cannot do that. You want to talk about everything that you're learning, everything that you have, and so on and so forth. My growth compared to others is very slow, but I'm attracting people who are interested in my many interests, like whether it's creator economy, whether it's what else? Branding, web design, psychology, religion, basketball, cooking, go on and on and on and on. There's a way to talk about all of that stuff without niching down, because I did it. Like, I'm near 1,000 followers without any particular strategy, enjoying the process and getting followers at the same time, like followers that care about my content and my interests, without me picking a niche or following a particular strategy that all of those Twitter growth strategists are telling you to do. So I'm not that one. You have to find your balance. It's easier said than done, but as my friend Soumya Thakur said, it's like the yin and the yang of content creation. And what she means by that is you have to consume and create adequately. Like, if you consume too much and you don't create that much, then you overconsume. And if you create too much without consuming much, then you overcreate and you run dry of inspiration. Like, no more inspiration for you, no more content ideas whatsoever. So that's why you have to find your own balance, because someone else's balance isn't yours at the end of the day. Everyone's lens is different. For me personally, everything is an inspiration. Like, I can go outside, watch the tree and have an idea. I can watch a TV show and have an idea. I can cook a meal and have an idea because of my particular status as a multi-passionate whatsoever, and because of my brand. That's why I have all of this, like room of freedom for my content. So if you have multiple interests, then my friend, don't shoot yourself in the feet. Just start creating. And I will link up some resources on the description, and the upcoming videos will talk more about, personal branding for multi-passionates, content creation for multi-passionates, polymath, multi-potentialists, whatever the word for that. All the same thing for me. Multiple interest, multiple passion, branding, personal branding, whatsoever. You're going to be able to create content without burning much calories from your brain. Oh my god. Finding the right mentor is something very, very difficult at the end of the day. Like, to find someone that resonates with your inner soul, like your mind and how you think, is difficult. So when you find someone like that, oh my god, you just have to stick with him instead of listening to everyone. For me, it was Danko. So I didn't overcomplicate things because of Danko. There was a small community on Twitter that formed, and I took advantage of that in a way that, I connected with all of those people that came to Twitter because of Dan. And so I ask myself, is this person where I want to be? You know, is this person living the life I want to live? And the answer for those questions, both of those questions, were yes, based on Danko. I want to, work for 5 hours per day in the morning and then have the entire afternoon doing whatever the fuck I want. Going to the gym, groceries, cooking, whatever. And, do I want to write online for the rest of my life? Do I want to create content online for the rest of my life? Yes, I do. Is he doing that? Yes, he does. And he's living a great life. He's having a tremendous, sustainable income because of that. Doing what he loves at the end of the day. And so, answering those two questions, for me, it was super clear that it is the mentor that I want to follow, and just listening to his advice, read his content, and apply everything that makes sense to me, because there were still small different things that I didn't follow to the T, because even Danko, he preaches the fact that you shouldn't niche down and so on, but he still specify that in the first 1 to 3 months you should only pick one topic and only create content about that particular topic, and after slightly start to incorporate other interests, other topic, and so on. But I didn't follow that because that was still a pressure for me, and I didn't want to only talk about one topic. So I took another approach. When you want to learn something faster, you find people where you know what you want to know, and you connect with them. You don't have to be a jerk and just like send a DM like, yo, help me with this, help me with that, but more like really being genuinely curious about their profession, their expertise, and just the fact that you want to learn more. Fuck, it's not that complicated to be human. It's not that complicated. That's another video for DMs whatsoever, but I mean, you get the idea. That's how I learned a lot in a very short amount of time. So the bottom line is, pick 3 mentors or 2, block everyone else's advice, hop on a call with new people, ask them how did they learn what they know. That brings me to my next point, learning within a small community. You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. The benefits of community, learning and growing together. I had the chance to connect with many people from the Solopreneur Sprint from Danko in my beginning of the journey on Twitter. A little after, like maybe around the 3rd month of my journey, I came across an interesting profile, and this guy is Adrian Barra, and his bio directly spoke to me. A guy with multiple interests, not knowing what he do, whatever. I was hooked, and especially with his design and so on. And after I saw like he has a community, but that was just on the back of my mind. So I booked a call with him. We spoke for more than 100 hours. No, for more than an hour and a half, and I decided to join the community. After I joined the community, my growth basically exploded because of, especially when it's a culture fit and, beliefs fit. I was like, damn, this is so amazing. Like, it is amazing when you are in the room with other people that shares the same, like multiple interests, knowledge seeking, all of that stuff that is super similar to me. You connect with them, and you are genuinely interested in them. You are genuinely curious about their life, about how they do what they do. And what was amazing with this community is the fact that everyone excels at something, but still they are interested by many other things. And that's what I love about those people. Real multi-passionates. Yes, we have multiple interests, but still I think, not we should, but we must have some kind of expertise somewhere else, and then you start stacking your skills. But you'll always have something that you're better at than many other things, right? That brings me to my ending, which is join a community. And yeah, I'm going to tell you, if you're interested, the link in the description for the Becoming Self community. I can create a whole video just for the sake of the community. And I'm telling you, this community is amazing. Just go to his website and take a chance, because if you're having difficulties, obstacles regarding your growth, or just your personal branding journey as a whole, a community can help you, and you have nothing to lose, everything to gain. So with that, I'll leave you with my free guide on how to create endless content without a niche. The link will be in the description. Yes, sir.